Dude, you get the best barrels ever, dude. Just like you pull in and you just get spit right out of them. And you just drop in and just smack the lip. Whoop-ah! Drop down, snap, and then after that, you just drop in, just ride the barrel and get pitted. So pitted like that.
The Escape Pod.
I'm Jezbot.
I'm Timmy Tucker.
I'm short enough.
And welcome back to Turnstile Records presents the Escape Pod. It's the New Year's Eve edition, I guess.
Into it?
I guess.
Turnstile Records all year, every week, every day.
All the time.
It's a non-stop podcast. I hope to get, this is going to be my New Year's resolution. I hope to get 100 quality episodes out to the punters, to the listeners there.
Yep. How many far off are you?
Well, this
50.
year we did 52 episodes.
Yeah, I think so.
Which was good, which was
One a week.
up on last year. And I hope to, we shall double our efforts, Lord Vader, type of thing.
Sean enough, you sent me that video of that guy in the, doing the, what's that, sky...
The hang gliding.
Hang gliding.
It was a pretty popular, it was a viral video.
I've had dreams of that.
Have you?
Terrifying dreams.
That's a pretty intense experience, isn't it?
Well, mine are more like that I was hanging off the back of the Mad Mouse.
I don't know what you're talking about. The video that you sent, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a guy that's hanging off a hang glider.
Yeah.
And he's not strapped in properly. And
Have you seen the video?
Hanging off.
No, that's terrible.
That's a dual hang gliding experience. And the main operator is strapped in and his passenger isn't strapped in. He's got all his harness on. Tandem. And he's hanging on to the guy next to him, but he hasn't clipped on.
Yeah.
And
so
they
he's hanging.
How does that get through all those procedures and the steps and the work safe and like, is he plugged in?
Yeah, they missed a step. It's not
that hard.
Nah.
Am I clipped in?
Well, anyway, the guy manages to hang on by all attempts, and they, it's a harrowing experience.
This is him going through the air.
Sounds pretty.
You can't
cool.
hit. Yeah, he
Yeah.
sounds pretty calm.
Nice.
Well, they're going quite quickly.
Yeah,
It looks really nice. It's like the hills are alive with the sound of music. It's like the Swiss Alps or something, and we're seeing everything going on. And he's gliding down, and oh wait a second, oh no, there's a guy hanging onto the side there, and he's reaching for the belt.
He's falling.
Why is he not?
He's not clipped in, and he's falling off the thing, and he's hanging off the hang glider. That's him. Like if he lets go, he's dead.
Are we talking about a Tom Cruise level stunt here?
This is
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Credits to his level of grip strength.
Tell you what, that Tom Cruise is a dreamboat.
And the thing, it's a harrowing video.
It is. It's a sweaty palms video.
They go higher and higher and longer.
Well, you're riding the air currents, Tim, and you don't know where you're going to end up. Essentially, I mean, there is some direction, I guess. Down.
There he goes.
Yep.
Whoa.
And he's hanging on. The grass is coming up.
Yeah.
And he's a bigger fella, so him hanging there is obviously affecting the trajectory of the hang glider.
He was essentially doing a downward facing dog, if you've ever done yoga, like as he was landing on the grass there. Well, that's terrifying. This is why.
Break his wrist.
Tell you who's never going to be in that situation. This guy.
Yeah.
Right here. Because
You're pointing at me? Oh.
I'm never doing this. I'm never getting on that.
No, doesn't float your boat.
It doesn't float. Cool. Doesn't float my boat and doesn't fly my kite.
Yep.
I would have said because
It would be pretty cool. I mean, I don't know. There's two ways to look at it. Live your life to the fullest, get all those experiences,
a life lived,
or value the sanctity of life.
It's so rare, you think, in the universe and the cosmos that it's an amazing feat that we're even here.
It is.
And why?
Well, like for example, I'd really like to have a motorbike. But I know through life experiences that people die on motorbikes.
Mate,
and
do you think I don't want a Harley Davidson?
Yeah. Does my want to zoom around on a motorbike outweigh the specialness of living a life? And I don't think it does.
I mean, Tim and I have visited a friend in previous years at the rehab centre from riding motorbikes.
Oh, yeah.
And the second time he was in there.
Yeah, it wasn't
for
it?
riding motorbikes.
Yep.
So he lost his leg.
Oh, it's like heroin.
Bottom half of his leg. So he still had
It's like heroin, obviously. It's a thrill that's unattainable, hard to attain otherwise. And once you're into it,
it's great.
And as BB King always said,
once you get into it, it's great.
BB King always said the thrill is gone. And I think the first time you ride a motorbike, and the first time you mainline heroin, that black tar,
They're very similar.
the thrill is gone. You can never capture that feeling again.
Innocence
You're
lost.
chasing the dragon.
Yep. Tracing white lines, coincidentally.
And look, I'm not going to be hang gliding this year, next year. This is my, mark my words.
What about bungee jumping?
I've done it.
Yep.
I did it in Byron Bay, and I was there up by myself as a 18 or 19-year-old, and I thought, well, that's what you got to do, a rite of passage. Let's do something crazy.
Yep.
I don't want to get tattoos. I don't want to ride a motorbike. So I'll bungee jump, and it was off a tower rather than a cliff sort of scenario, but it was very high. It was 110 feet, which is up there.
Yeah.
And when you're up the top and your instructor is a Byron Bay, probably 22-year-old.
Yeah, I was going to say, instructor's a glorified term.
Dreadlocks, ear piercings,
Yep.
tattoos. You know what I'm saying? Neck
Yeah.
tattoos, job
Yeah.
stoppers.
Yep.
And I said, who does the ropes? Where are these ropes from? I thought I would
Ropes like do themselves,
just try to do my due diligence and ask the right questions. Like, is there a safety procedure here? Who does the ropes?
Isn't it their duty to sort of like say,
Duty of care, yeah.
No, there isn't. Are you still going to do it? Or are you going to puss out? Pussy?
You're going to puss out, princess.
I don't know if they're tied up. That's why we jump, bruh.
Well, that's what it kind of was, because you go, we do the ropes here now. We make the ropes ourselves. And that's when I started to panic. And I was up the top, and...
Is it like one of them point break moments? You remember when Keanu Reeves or Johnny Utah, he's up in the plane with the Bodie, and he's like, "Who packed my chute? Who packed my chute?"
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Sean, how could I forget that moment?
That's right. I packed your chute. You didn't know if you could trust him or not,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, that's exactly what I was
So
feeling.
then they didn't switch up, yeah.
And it starts to... There's a crowd gathering below, watching, because the elevator or whatever, because it's a tower, it's on a mountain, as I said. It's an elevator to get up there or whatever. And so as soon as the elevator goes up, people start to gather around and go, oh, yeah, here we go, someone's going to jump. Let's watch him.
Yep.
Hopefully he's going to drown or die. Hopefully the rope will fail, because that's why we watch that.
Okay, yeah. I can see that.
We want to see the train wreck. And it was time to jump, and it was 3-2-1 styles, and he had to keep doing the 3-2-1 because I wouldn't jump. My legs wouldn't jump.
Pussy.
And this is
He's a pussy, Brody.
this is at my this is at
my
the,
rope.
This is at the height of my peacocking. You know what I mean? Literally, I'm up 110 feet. This is the height
Of
my
peacock.
peacock.
Yeah.
And then when it comes down to it, Jezbot couldn't do it.
You didn't do it?
Well, I did, but I didn't do. I wanted to do the Brody 3, 2, 1, and I dive out like a frog or a sugar glider possum diving from tree to tree. They don't fly; they glide. You know.
Instead, your granny flopped.
And and my legs buckled, and I ended up just like falling over shoulders first. The last thing to leave the platform was my feet. It's supposed to be the first. You're supposed to spring out, but the shoulders sort of go first. The head, and then you sort of like ease out, and it was terrible. Like you're falling down, and you're going, "What
am I doing? Why did I do this?"
Yeah.
This is it. This is the end."
I had a very similar experience. I remember that moment. Only I didn't pussy out. I jumped out before we finished the countdown.
Before they finished.
I was out.
Well done.
I was out. And here's the thing,
Like
I was really nonchalant. I was really confident, getting up on there, even at the height. I did the thing that you said about, like I asked him after he tied me up, I was like, so do you trust your tie-up job? And he was kind of like, yeah, man, I totally trust my tie-up job. Yeah.
Dude.
Totally, bro.
Dude. And I was like, oh, fair enough. That's some joie de vivre, some confidence right there. But I did that whole really I've got this. I'm standing on the edge. Take your photos, bang, and then gang hands, and then
West Side.
See, full of confidence. Jumped off, no problem. But there was a moment where I didn't realised I wasn't gliding like a sugar glider and I was falling like a brick. And my brain just said, what the fuck am I doing?
And the drop is 4 seconds, something like that. And the amount of thoughts is like, I've wasted my life. I should have done better at maths. I should have learned another language. This is what happens at this time of year. It's, you know.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
You start thinking about all the things you didn't do this year.
That's
that
right.
I'm going to do next year.
Then what about the aftermath? Like you get off, because I got off the Tower of Terror and it was like an hour or so. I was still like kind of pepped up, bruh.
Yeah.
I've never done the actual, had to dive myself. I don't think I could do it.
No.
You like to be strapped into a machine that throws you off the edge rather
If
than...
I have to.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually quite simple. There's less to go wrong in the bungee jump than a machine. There's less
Probably.
bolts and things like that.
It's just a rope and a... You know, you see those New Guinea tribes, they invented bungee jumping and all they had was a vine.
That's right.
Towel,
That's
you know.
chaotic.
Trust your bands, bro.
You see what they're doing now? They do it in all sorts of places. They do it in New Zealand as well. The canyon swings. It's like bungee jumping, but they start you. It's not a bungee rope. It's not elastic. It's a fixed rope, and it's got a center point. And they start you off somewhere on the other side.
It's more of your Coyote Roadrunner.
It's a giant swing. A
It's
giant swing
A
through
Wile E.
canyon.
Coyote.
And you stand at the top,
Acme.
and they drop you on a rope, and you fly across.
I don't think I'd want to do it.
That's extreme.
Yeah.
Extreme.
Would you do it?
Oh, if I could, I would.
Okay.
Do you think that the rise in extreme sports and craziness is in direct correlation with our...
The end of the world?
Yeah,
Well,
I think it is.
Going further and further away from nature and providing for ourselves and hunting in that base level reptilian thing that's within all of us, and we don't have that anymore. So maybe we need to go more and more extreme, jump off more canyons, bungee jump off high. I think now we're going into space in a balloon and then jumping off that thing because
Yeah,
Because
it is.
Red Bull's got something to do with
It
it.
is. There's, I mean, like adrenaline. We have
all
receptors, built-in
meth and Red
receptors.
Bull, yeah.
Yeah.
Evolution over time, we've got built-in receptors for different chemicals that our bodies
Like
produce.
pleasure and
Yeah,
dopamines and
For whatever reasons, as survival chemicals, our body's got reasons to accept them, and when with these receptors it becomes a requirement. Just like nicotine, when you smoke nicotine, it creates these receptors, and that's why you
need more nicotine.
You need to feed those receptors, and that's the same thing with adrenaline. Like, I mean, on an evolutionary scale, what we are at now in extreme sports is just pretty young. Pretty young. It's been around fairly
Can I do
quickly.
a question sidebar to this? What kind of kid were you? Were you the guy that, because you're the eldest in your family?
Yep.
So you're the trendsetter or the guy that had to pave the way?
Trailblazer.
Alpha.
Peacock. Because I was the youngest, and so the motivation for me to go down the embankment on my BMX at a 6-year-old was because all my older brothers could do it.
Yep.
You
You're
didn't
setting the
have that.
standards. You
You
set
didn't
the
have any
standards.
standards. So were you the type of child to do the monkey bars, the swing bars, go down the slide, do the jump, bungee?
Oh yeah, I love my extreme sports. I grew up on them.
There you go.
Yeah, I was okay at them. I would say I was mediocre. I won some competitions in different things, but I was never
Skimboarding.
Skimboarding.
and skateboarding. But I was never one of the. I could never have gone pro. I was just like a suburban
You were
superstar.
into it, and you were aware of your capabilities.
Yeah, but I didn't have that. That innate switch that people that succeed in extreme sports have.
Yep.
Permanently switched off, which is their will to survive.
Brain trauma is a big part of it as well. If you get a big, massive hit in the head as a young child, you're more impulsive. That's what happens to all these wrestlers.
Yeah,
I listen to a lot of different podcast boys, but
I
could be.
yeah,
Did
I
you ever get
understand
hit in
that.
the head?
I did. I had a big because of my interest in extreme sports. I used to skate a lot around school, like big gaps off stairs over wheelie bins and whatnot. But I wasn't skating on this occasion. I just tried to jump up onto a handrail down a 12-stair gap
Yeah, as you do.
that was wet. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought I could slide down it.
No, because you had so much testosterone.
Yeah,
what age
we
is
used
this?
to. We used to
what
do.
age are we talking?
We used to do like. But this was
peacock age.
before parkour. But we did what would be considered like a quasi version of parkour. You know, it was nowhere near as stylish. But we used to just like jump shit. Because we weren't allowed to skate at school, but we just, like to do that sort of stuff.
Practicing like air.
Massive, like ridiculous gaps.
But you hit the 12
Yeah,
step.
hit the 12 step and just hit it with
Sorry about that.
just hit it with the back of my heel instead of the middle of the foot, which is usually where you go for the grind slide.
Right, yeah.
And the heel, I remember it just slipping over and the legs going over the handrail and my head going backwards, and then I hit the ground quite hard. Ended up in hospital.
All right, so
But landed, the full force was accepted by my noggin.
How many days in hospital?
Oh, I was only there. I was out that night. I was only there
Concussion?
for the afternoon. Yeah, I wasn't fully messed up.
Was there vomiting?
But I was in a hole.
No, it's
It shook me pretty hard.
Okay,
I was.
so how quickly were you back on the horse for extreme?
Oh yeah, really quickly.
Okay.
Really quickly. It wasn't that sort
And
of.
some would say
it was only a knock on the head. It didn't
some are
damage
saying that
anything
that's
else.
what's happening. Like after a head trauma, you see it in all these pro athletes. They start to have more extreme behavior and like OJ.
OJ.
OJ. But I'm not saying you're a murderer, allegedly.
Not at all. Not
I'm
at
just
all.
saying that after that first initial knock, did the extreme behavior continue? And then when did it stop?
It could be seen as a turning point. It could have been seen as a direct catalyst for extreme behaviour that still exists to this day.
But you're not jumping out planes.
No, I'm not, but I'd like to. I just can't.
Yeah.
I can't. And I probably never will be able to. And sometimes that saddens me. Do you know what I'd really like to do?
Get some,
Wingsuit.
Wingsuit?
You know,
What,
wingsuiting?
those big fan things?
First,
Come on,
no.
Yeah.
When you jump off a
Like
cliff.
a possum.
Can't you do it in,
Like a
in
sugar
that
glider.
big fan?
Yeah.
Can't you do it in the fan?
Can't you do a sugar?
Oh, you can do that.
Sugar glider possum reference, please, Tim.
Okay.
Just like, come on, I set it up. But yeah, it's like that thing where you jump off a cliff and then you spread your arms, and then there's a fly suit like you see Bond would do maybe in a movie.
Yep. Yeah.
You would like to do that, but have you seen the sugar glider fails?
Oh, yeah.
No,
it's
I
not a
haven't
good.
seen
It's
that.
not a good way. To
No.
Is it anything like the hang glider fail?
It's a lot worse because when you're just going, you don't have a parachute. You are going Mark 10,
Mark 10.
and when you don't get the gap, when you don't cut the cheese, or I don't know what the expression is when you
Yeah.
cut it close,
They're just falling out of the sky.
they just slam into a mountain at 400k an hour.
That's really bad.
But how do you survive that?
They don't.
Well, you
Oh, okay. So you don't.
It makes for a terrible YouTube
I
video.
thought, yeah, okay.
Really bad. Really
So
bad.
how many people have actually died doing that? Do you
And-
know?
but the
Fuck.
culture
how,
is-
how long's a piece of string, man?
Okay.
But they still push it because, like, the culture is now, it's not just wingsuiting where you can just jump out of a plane and glide around. It's no, you base jump off a mountain and do a thing called proximity diving where the aim is to get to the bottom while staying as close to the mountain face as possible, while you get down there.
Yeah, why? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, it's
for the
crazy.
is it for the footage?
Is it Instagram?
It must be
gone
amazing,
wild?
amazing footage.
It could be for the sponsor.
What you want though is you want to be the guy that supplies the camera and not the guy wearing the camera, because when the dude hits the mountain, inevitably, that's when you get 60 million hits.
Because that's good footage.
That's great footage.
Yep.
Be the producer, not
Not the actor.
yeah. Don't be the actor. Don't be the product. Be the person setting it up.
Yeah, because if you supply it, then you've got the right to deny it. It's not extreme things. I think roller coasters as extreme as I'd sort of water slides. I don't mind.
Oh, yeah. Used to love a great water slide.
No, don't like water slides.
No?
No.
Can I
Yeah, go on, Tim.
invite a crazy invention? The bringing together of the virtual reality glasses.
Yep.
But in one of those big fan rooms where you get to do your
Oh, yeah.
do your glide, but you're in the thing, so it's simulated. It tracks you in this tube.
You'd feel like you're.
That's
in
So you still have to fucking do it.
What about
That's
what
a
about
brilliant
the,
idea.
that
Flying.
You see him. You can just jump on a surfboard, and they have that false. It's like a setup, like a stall, and it's a wave.
Oh,
You've seen
yeah.
that?
They have one at
Stuff like
MSAC
that. So
in Melbourne.
you're sort of on that, so you feel the wetness. You feel
still
like
gotta do it.
You feel like you're falling, on water, but it's actually a water slide or a rapid, or because you're virtual reality into
It has to be pretty intuitive because those things are really hard.
It's just a sidebar on that sidebar with that virtual reality stuff and Star Trek with their holodeck. I know, Sean, enough, you're not really.
We got the holodeck.
But when you get
Holodeck colours.
when you're in the holodeck on Star Trek times and you're going on the water slide and you get wet, like splashed wet, and then you walk out of the holodeck, do you immediately dry? Because the water's not real.
All right.
No, you just feel like you're getting
You
wet.
feel like you're getting wet.
So it's 4D. No, it's hologram. So you don't know. It could be like a combination of all.
How did I get my wet senses going? Look, this
Dinner at a movie.
I'd like to. This time last year, we did an episode called "Mark My Words,"
Yep.
and I thought we could do, because it is a New Year's Eve pod or New Year's sort of area pod. I thought we could do maybe a "Mark My Words" Part 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Okay.
Nice.
So last time we did Mark My Words, and I predicted what was going to happen this year for me personally. And one of my promises, my New Year's resolutions, my Mark My Words was, I'm going to drink. I've done this before where I've failed because I've set the bar too high. I've said, I'm going to learn Spanish. And you're not going to learn Spanish next year, guys. All right? So I set the bar low last year and I said, I'm going to drink more water this year.
Yep.
How'd you go?
I 100% passed.
Okay.
I got.
Oh, have you got a ding on that? Have you got a...
I bought myself a soda stream. I am not drinking as much sody pop. And the water levels are triple what they were at this time last year.
Oh.
So I would like to suggest that in Mark My Words this year, we set the bar lower. You don't need to go, I'm going to the gym. I'm going to get, because I really want an inch on my pecs.
Yeah.
It's not going to fucking happen, man.
I know what I'm going to do this year. I'm going to change up my T-shirt section of my closet.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well done.
I'm
What,
gonna-
throw some stuff, 2 men enter, 1 man leave? Or
Or like 10 men exit, 2 men enter.
yeah.
1 man.
2 men enter, 10 men exit.
But yeah, more T-shirts. I just got to recirculate because I've tried to do the old. What happens with me is I do gigs. People post it on Facebook. Do my own posts. Then, sure enough, you are seen in.
Looks like Timmy Taco's wearing the same T-shirt every day.
Yeah, pretty much. Like
Yeah.
there'll be gigs, your memories from 6-7 years ago, and I've got the same hoodie on.
Damn T-shirt.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So I want to recirculate my
Very good.
my
very
stock.
good.
Yeah.
I mean, in last year's Mark My Words, I'll say this. I said, Mark My Words, I wanted to do boxing. And you know what? Mark my word, I did. I did 2 boxing sessions.
Yep.
Foxy boxing. Dan was very not impressed with doing Foxy boxing. It was pretty full on, but the shoulders couldn't hold up. I did 2 sessions. It was at 7 o'clock at night. And so, like, I'm going to these sessions. I'm using the shoulders. I've had rotator cuff issues. 2 sessions.
Yep.
And sure enough, the shoulders, I could barely move the next day. And then I'm so amped because it started at 7 p.m. And so, but you do your hour session.
Yep.
You're not sleeping till
Can't sleep.
1:30, 2 o'clock. I was up.
It's crazy. Keeps you up.
So this year, the water levels are up. It's all good. I'm going to continue that. This year, I would like to post, as I've said, 100 quality, top-notch podcasts.
Top notch.
Top-notch, the best podcast, the best audio you've heard all year.
Mark Jezbot's words.
I'll accept 100. We're probably going to get 52. But
Does that involve like podcasts that you record on your own? Like the other night, it was about 2:30 in the morning, and your wife texted me and said, "Tim, your brother is in the top room talking to himself
on his Zoom.
on his Zoom. Please help me." So I sent back to her, "Don't worry about it. Some people have it way worse than you, Cass."
Yeah,
and then
I
sent her the King Ripper farting video.
Yeah. King Ass Ripper.
King Ass Ripper video.
and then I immediately called Tim back, and then I pressed record, and I said, we're doing a pod. And so Tim, according to
decided
Vanessa,
to make it all of the listeners' problem.
According to Vanessa, she was drifting off Christmas night on the couch. You know, they got rid of the kids. They were just like maxing out. I call up at 2:30. Let's do a pod. And so Tim graciously
listen to Jeremy's voice for 45 minutes.
which we will release at some stage. Jezbot After Dark Christmas.
You never
bonanza.
know.
No,
You really do never know. I know, but you don't.
Yeah, you don't need to know.
Yes.
Are you stupid, ugly, and boring as shit? Or perhaps you're a complete dick who has no idea how to communicate with the opposite sex. In fact, I bet you make a complete fuck of yourself all the time. If your answer is yes, then look no further than Lower Your Expectations Dating Agency. Hi, I'm Rudolph Bernstein, owner and CEO of Lower Your Expectations Dating Agency. For just $19.99.95 plus tax, our database is jam full of other like-minded losers just like you. With so many jerks to choose from, we have someone for everyone at Lower Your Expectations Dating Agency. From the plain old fucking stupid, or just annoying assholes who have meaningless interests that no one else gives a shit about, just like you. So get off your stupid lazy ass and call us at Lower Your Expectations Dating Agency. 2126 Unit 55 Bloomberg Highway, Albuquerque.
Yeah. Watching MASH again.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Great
Tim,
sound.
yeah,
Great
Tim doesn't
intro.
like it. And a lot of people...
no, I like it, but I just don't understand why you keep watching it when there's just so
it's
much
on,
to watch.
It's on, for starters.
Yep.
After Christmas dinner or whatever, we went home and we watched Rabid.
Relax with a bit of MASH.
Oh, we watched Rabid.
Hey, Deborah.
Rabid.
Hey, Deborah.
That's pretty good.
Hey, Robert. Hey, Robert.
Rabid.
Hey, Deborah.
Rabid.
Hey, Robert.
Rabid.
Hey,
Hey, Rabid.
Hey, Deborah.
Hey, Rabid.
Hey, my parents. Robert.
That's pretty good.
So we watched that, and then I watched MASH, man. And so what I realised this round of MASH, because it'll be every 2 years, I'll have another crack at MASH when it comes back on or whatever.
Yeah.
This time I had the hashtag #MeToo movement in my head.
As
And
we
of-
always...
We all should have and need to do in the future. But I started to look at MASH from a different view, which is what the movement's all about.
Really?
And it kind of seems like Hawkeye Pierce, the major doctor that had most power, was pushing his status on these nurses, man. He was always drunk.
Yeah,
And
he
he'd
was-
always be cornering them.
he was
Going,
quite
Come
misogynistic.
back to my tent if I could only blah, blah, blah. And
Yeah.
grab.
But he was
That's
a,
true.
And now I'm
a
looking
slick
at MASH and the
professional.
whole...
A slick professional in an isolated environment. And I didn't hear any of them nurses complaining.
Yeah, well, not at that
Wow.
stage, but now.
They didn't want to get... Oh, wait, they did want to get fired. They were in the war.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
They didn't have the internet.
But I know what you're saying. Like, post Me Too movement, Hawkeye would be fucked.
There's so many things that are so like...
The whole basis of the show
Yeah.
wouldn't exist
No.
today. Really.
And then I watched Margaret Houlihan. She was going to quit
Yeah.
in last week's episode, and she got really pissed, like drunk, off the moonshine that they're brewing in their tent because they're
Right.
like that's their hot Cosby.
Yep.
And so she gets so slaughtered, and then like Hawkeye and McIntyre
Bust in.
need to bring her to the showers and like
To the showers.
yeah, like she had full clothes on, but
Yeah.
they had to like freshen her up, you know.
Yep.
So she doesn't talk, you know. what I'm
Oh, they
saying?
were absolute
Oh, wow,
players.
The
They were
fans,
absolute.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can we take?
Let's turn that down. We've got the holodeck lights on. It doesn't have
Yeah,
to
we've got
sound
that.
like a holodeck.
That's the result of it being 37 degrees in here.
We
so-
could have ruined the whole podcast. That
We could have. That people won't mind. They'll say, "What's that sound?" And then all of a sudden, it'll stop.
if you
Yeah.
couldn't have
That's what happened.
If you couldn't have heard it, the background is the portable air conditioning unit that Sean Enough has installed in his lovely studio here, so that we don't die of heat exhaustion on one of the hottest days in Melbourne that we've faced
Yep.
this year. If not,
That's right.
You said-
Finish what you were talking about.
I
What were you saying?
He exhausted.
well, MASH,
Yeah.
Hashtag mash 2.
Well, I'm just saying that was the lead off. Like shit's done changed, and every year that it goes past, because it is New Year's Eve, or it's around that time. It is the end of the year. Shit keeps changing. Like, did you guys realize that next year is 2019?
That is the future.
That is 1 year off being the future.
Did you know that's 19 years beyond 2000?
True. Was there a movie 2020?
Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. Like 2020 is like
Stanley Kubrick.
the pinnacle. Like I don't think they thought too much beyond 2020.
No.
Except for L. Ron Hubbard.
I can't do that, Michael.
That's right. That's right. Just a little bit of a thing, talking about things that have old cultures gone. Like MASH. Do you remember
that just doesn't fly anymore.
Like what wouldn't fly? This definitely wouldn't fly. Do you remember Foot Rot Flats?
Yes.
Holy shit! Wait. That's amazing. We talked about Foot Rot Flats last week.
Yeah, we did.
And we said that. Do you remember when you saw Foot Rot Flats? Because we went to the movies to see Foot Rot Flats.
Yeah,
Tim and I at
length.
Chatty.
It was a comic strip so popular.
We saw the animation and we went, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, it was amazing.
We've got to go see it. This is right down in our wheelhouse. And we sat down and the credits came up, and the first thing that Foot Rot Flats said was in a New Zealand accent, and we looked at each other with such disgust.
I don't think so.
I don't think we can
Handle it.
like this anymore.
I don't think we can handle it. I don't think we can handle
I don't
it.
think we can
think we
handle
I
it.
love it. I love the New Zealand accent. If I could be a New Zealand person, I would.
But
Okay.
It would
seriously,
increase the likelihood that I would have met Kimbra growing up, and I could have. That's
No, but
another story,
that's
but
a
I
whole
still-
other-
no,
that's
I
a
love
whole
it.
So we were talking about Foot Rot Flats. I was sorry to sidebar you, but
Yeah. But-
please continue.
I've got a good mate down at the local watering hole who's a Kiwi, and Foot Rot Flats was obviously from New Zealand, and he likes to paraphrase Foot Rot Flats comic strips, and I had the liberty of recording one last week, so I
did
thought
you?
I would share it with
Yeah,
listeners.
Okay, let's have a listen. Foot Rot Flats.
All right. And this is Rob, the host with the most, with a Foot Rot Flats anecdote.
Okay.
Tell us about the Foot Rot Flats.
The horse, he's gone to surgery, and so dog goes up, he's fucked. The horse is there, and dog's scared of the fucking horse anyway. So he goes, goes on and does ring it. Oh, who's tough now? Like, he's got his balls now. Horse is like, his tongue's hanging out. And fucking he goes, you're the man now, you're the man now. And the horse just opens one eye. And he goes, oh, fuck. Oh, shit, he's seen me. And he knows he's going to get a bash from horse when he gets better. But he's going, what? Oh, you're the man now. Look at you now, lying flat on the ground. And horse just opens one eye and he goes, oh, fuck. Yeah.
Sean enough does stuff.
Yeah.
What was he actually talking about that day?
I didn't understand a word he said.
Understand it.
No.
He said-
But apparently that is a Foot Rot Flats strip, and yeah,
Can
I
we-
mean, we can get more.
For
There's plenty
next
more where
year,
that
just
came
just
from.
moving forward
He
next
did find
year
it very funny.
with the digital recording, going out there and recording people. Should we stay away from drunk people, perhaps?
No, I think that's where the gold is.
Yeah,
Shouldn't-
it's hit and miss.
can't you? Yeah, true. Yeah.
You got to direct them. One is you never let them touch the microphone.
Mm.
You have control of the microphone at all times.
Yep. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You can't trust a drunk person with anything. You can't trust a drunk person with their own life. It's bizarre that it is the legal choice of intoxication.
Well, you need
it's quite dangerous.
in this day and age where population growth is exponentially growing.
Yep.
We need things to wipe ourselves out.
Yeah, but how many babies have been born as a result of being drunk?
Well, me, I'm the youngest of 5.
Yeah.
So, as mum and dad would say, you're unplanned, but you're not unwanted.
Yeah.
And so that was my sort of.
What about Jake's? He was saying that he was using alcohol as a contraceptive. Remember?
Yeah,
Sean?
that's right. If you're a young buck that we used to work with as an apprentice said, well, you can't get pregnant if you're pissed because
No. He thought being drunk and hooking up wouldn't get anybody pregnant because we were drunk.
Oh, because he's drunk. He's got the devil's poison in you.
Yeah, that's right.
There was another guy.
Sterilizes you.
There was another apprentice at work that said one time, you know, when you're so fit and healthy, you know, you've been working out so much that you shit blood. So I went, hold on a second. But turns out it was only ass cancer, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
No, it wasn't. No, he just, I think what happens is when you're eating healthy, what he didn't realize is eating lots of beetroot, red stuff.
Yep.
You know, and inevitably we've been trained to do our business and then look down and see what's going on back there. You know,
Possibly.
well, I don't know. Some people do. I look. I like to
Different
see.
cultures are different.
I don't know if I received the official training, but
But I like to see what's happening. Just light brown and floating.
Some European
It's,
cultures, their toilets are different. There's a platform that you drop it onto that's a little bit higher, so you can see it and study it before you flush it.
Yeah.
It's like Germany. Or
There's
somewhere
that
like
corn. There's
Because
the sausage.
apparently you can
There's
judge
the sausage.
your
There's
internal
that
health
corn.
quite well by looking at what comes out.
Light brown and floating.
but I don't do
Morning glory. Dark and dingy, and everyone's.
wash your hands, keep them clean.
Clean. Absolutely.
Well, look, I mean, what's up for next year, you guys? Like, we'll sort of get to a wrap up here because it is stinking fucking hot in here.
It's pretty hot. Well, I know I'm going to get my t-shirts. You're going to do 100 podcasts. What are you going to do?
I'm going to...
And aim low, I would say.
Yeah, that's right. Do you know what, actually? Do you know what I'm going to do? I am going to do a bit of this... what's it called? I don't know what the name of it is, but it's
Yoga?
basically you eat less red meat. You don't go vegetarian.
Are you intermittent fasting?
I do a little bit of that, like Terry Crews.
I do that every day.
You know,
Terry Crews. Oh, my favourite.
I think that he does it. I think there's a lot to be said for intermittent fasting.
Maybe try that out this year.
Yeah,
but what were you saying? Sorry, you're going to do less of what?
Eating red meat, just by choice. Because for environmental reasons. Because the red meat industry has a massive impact on global CO2 emissions
and water use. I mean, talking about the heat today, I mean, a 500 gram steak works out to be about 5,000 litres of water.
Yep.
To grow the grain, to feed the cow. It's more than that, but
So
I'm just going, yeah.
Yep.
So less meat. I like this.
Well, that's right. I mean, there's other options, you know, because obviously like vegetarianism or veganism even is going to be great for the planet. If everybody did it, it would improve at least CO2 sort of factors quite, you know, significantly. But nobody really wants to consider like giving up on the things that they really like. And, you know, I don't want to either. I love a burger. I love all these things. Even though I understand, you know, the ethical things, I believe that every animal is sentient. I don't think we're just eating these, you know, numbskulls that don't know what's coming from them. And in saying that, I don't know if that makes me evil or not. I still eat them, but I believe animals are sentient.
Well, now that we're aware of that, and it's already been ingrained in our culture to eat meat, and it's only been the last 50 years that we're sort of coming.
It's not just cultural.
But it's only been the last 50 years where farming has become the norm, rather than going out and getting the deer that you need for that winter. Yeah, doesn't exist anymore.
That's right.
And so you need to farm things, and so you know,
to sustain a massive population, especially.
This is it. It's probably one of the best steps you can take is choosing not to eat the. Look, I go down to Tasman Meats with $15 to get some chicken skewers, and Cass and I will spend $150 on meat.
Yeah,
you know,
But apparently, chickens, like even eating chicken is 75% better in terms of CO2 production than beef. You know, so if you choose chicken over beef, you're still making a difference environmentally, not obviously ethically when it comes to eating a sentient creature, but
what's the environmental impact of a sausage?
Well, heaps, man, heaps.
Well, there is, but you can say the sausage is just accumulating, or you know, using the byproduct.
A quality meat, a quality sausage. Are you asking?
Yeah. Or, quality, yeah. Well, that's true.
So a quality sausage, you've got to think of the setup of the farm, the production of the meat, the growing of the grain, the water, the transport, the packaging, to the punter, and then you forget to cook it and you throw it away.
Throw it away. It's nothing. Once a living creature.
That's the major problem.
Yeah.
That's the major problem.
Does anyone want another Snuffy Wagger? No thanks.
No thank you. Throw it in the fire. But if you had actually grown that pig and slaughtered that pig, you would eat
his sausage.
You would eat his arsehole.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's worthwhile.
But not to go on an absolute tirade about it, but talking about, I'm not discrediting veganism or vegetarianism. Like I've got some friends, people I've known back in the day that, big vegan advocates now, and all credit to them. I wish I could have the same
gusto.
Dedication to something that I understand and can identify with. I guess I'm too lazy or ignorant or
no, you just like meat. You just like meat. It's hard to give it up. It's a massive choice.
But these people are proving it the paradigm wrong.
I think the best way
bodybuilders.
I think the best way that you're saying is this year I'm going to eat less meat. Yep. We're going to have less packaging. We're going to do
given the option. I mean, as we've always got options, make more choices of vegetarian choices, and if you can't do that, then at least choose chicken or fish. That's 75% better in terms of CO2 production than red meat.
And renewable.
Sure enough, eat stuff.
Well, I reckon
this prick.
I don't know where we're at in the timing wise, but I think this is a perfect opportunity for me to say, actually, this is sincere. Tim is going to take the piss, but I actually want to say thank you for anyone that has listened to this podcast this year. It's we only do it for the shits and giggles. There is nothing. We're not getting anything out of this apart from we get to hang out together. And then I don't need a psychiatrist or a psychologist because I get it off my chest. And hashtag men's
pay it forward. Hashtag pay it forward.
Hashtag on the chest.
On the chest. And but yes, sincerely thank you for listening. And if next year you listen, that'd be great. And,
on that note, I'd like to thank you guys for having me on this year or whenever it has been. How many ever I've done?
I think you were up to about the 50.
I've done a couple, but thanks for getting us in there.
Oh, well, we couldn't have had the podcast without
Timmy Taco,
Danos Direct,
of course,
Sin City, and all of our co-hosts that we really do appreciate. And Tim and I can just sit in a room and talk shit to each other week to week. Well,
you've proved you can sit in a room and talk to yourself, but none of it would make any sense or come to any fruition if Timmy Taco didn't put it together into something consumable for everybody out there. And that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, it does. And look, from Jezbot, moving forward in 2019, the future, I would wish you all the best that you can do. The most... Feel this year.
Love is love.
I could feel it.
Love is love.
Love is love.
And
who doesn't love love?
Who doesn't love love? I am.
I'm Timmy Taco.
Sean enough.
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button. The ship will self-destruct in exactly 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
One pod left, and 3 of us.
The escape pod. The escape pod. What if there are droids in the escape pod? The sensors wouldn't pick them up.
Escape pod sounds really nice. Well, boys, it's a very lovely ship. I think you should go down. Goodbye.